Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's feeling good. This video is going to be talking about unlimited and just switching up your offense, just to be more dynamic in your games. In my mindset and how I go in currently, how I've been playing, and how I like to diagnose the defense. But also, when you're playing against somebody that does the same thing over and over on offense, making sure that you're scoring efficiently. Because once you're able to stop them, you being able to switch up your offense is going to be harder for them to defend. And once you figure out what they're doing, they're not going to have anything else to go to pretty much as long as you know how to stop it. And this guy had a pretty good record. He knew how to play the game for the most part. So I figured this would be a good person to make the video against. Once I noticed how he was playing offense, I was like, I'm definitely going to have to record this. So my first play that I like to go to, especially in these games when I see that they're using the center, if they don't switch on ball something right away, I'm going fish 35 cross. I want to see if they're going to be able to defend this play or not. Actually get bumped out of my spot, messes me up. But notice he's following AD around. AD goes to set the screen on Brandon Roy. J.R. Smith gets wide open because he's not going to be able to get over that screen. The center has to step up. And I know when they play center defense that it's not going to work out for them pretty well. So this time, when he comes to the court, he gets right into 5 out, and I noticed it, but he did end up scoring on a nice skip pass. He noticed my rotation, which was good. He was a good passer, and he got an open three. So I figured, okay, he's going to run 5 out pretty much every play. My next possession up the court, I just ran a basic screen and roll and got a dunk with BD. Pretty easy. So first play was fist 35 cross. Second possession up the court was screen and roll just to get an easy bucket and see how he played that. Notice that he did switch around, so he does switch his defense, just diagnosing how they're going to play. Right here, we get into a press because I want to rush him now. If he's going to get in a 5 out, I don't want him to be in a 5 out that's patient, that where he can pick me apart. I want him sped up because that's just how I like people to play if they're going to already have an advantageous offensive position with 5 out, being able to drive the lane and stuff. So I like people to have to rush. That's my mindset. You don't have to do it, but I think that works for me. So we get a double here, make him start skipping some passes. He's not able to get anything inside, and then he goes for the fade. This shot is very hard to defend. I actually was really late on my hedge. He should have made this, but this was his first miss, and we were able to capitalize on it and get some points. So we stopped him right there. Couple more possessions up the court. We got into Iverson's series. Wanted to see how he was going to defend this. He's on the center again. Notice he's hawking the ball. He's not even paying attention to J.R. Smith going around these screens. We get the ball over to JR. I don't take the shot, but we do get a nice dump off down there to Chris Bosh to get a nice jump shot. Next possession up the court, we're going Iverson series again, but he's late, and this is something I really like to do. I did this purposely. If they're trailing you and you're going up the court, you can get in front of them and kind of like bump them to make their player not be able to recover. You used to be able to hold LT and do this and hold them behind you, but you kind of just have to get in front of them and they'll be stuck behind you, kind of how like the NBA players do when they're on the fast break. And then you're able to have a beeline to the basket pretty easily. So I like to do that here and there just to make them, pay for staying behind me or pressing or something like that. So we're in the press again, trying to make them rush, switching around, baiting at them. And he's just running around, kicking out, running around, kicking out, trying to get himself inside, backdoor cut, pick, and fade. And that's how he's playing. Nothing, I guess, wrong with that way to play, but I like to force them into some kind of turnover or make them rush when they're doing this. Once again, he has a tough possession, and we get another stop. And then we get up the court and we hit our own three. So now we're up three in a game. Early on, you want to kind of like establish that you're going to be able to get stops on them. Once you start getting stops, they get frustrated, and then it starts making your offense easier, and you're able to be more dynamic in your offense. Right here, he did end up hitting the fade. I was real late on this switch with AD. So the corner pick and roll is one of the hardest things to defend because you get caught on it so much, and it feels like the brick wall is so much tougher to get around from the corner. So anytime you see a corner pick and roll, to be honest, try to jump it and ice it so that they can't get out of the corner. They have to go baseline. Because if they get that corner pick and roll, it's going to be really hard to stop them from getting a three unless you hard hedge it or um you try to figure out to stop them or pinch to stop them from getting to the 3-point line because fades are still OP. They're no different than they were last year. You can still hit them pretty easily, especially in unlimited. If you're on Hall of Fame, it's a little bit harder. So I should have hedged a little bit harder with AD. I was really slow on this rotation. As soon as Scottie Pippen got hit, I should be up there already. Scottie Pippen can switch this screen and guard Chris Bosh. I should have just had that happen. I was late on my rotation, so he was able to get an open three. That should have been another easy stop. But I know that. I'm noticing this stuff. This is how my mind is working while I'm playing. That should have been a stop. I'm not going to worry about that basket. Up the court one more time. I think we're still in Iverson series right here, but I close out of it. I don't want to run Iverson series, so I just pull up and I call a screen. I'm going to go pick and fade with Chris Bosh, see if I can get something with him. He pops open. As you can see, this guy is still defending the my fault. I don't know why that just happened. This guy is still defending AD. So once I go around the screen, he starts to defend AD in the corner. I get open with Chris Bosh to hit that three. So we go pick and fade, Iverson series. All things working for us. We end up going 24-18 in the first quarter. Pretty good quarter for us. Now Jason Tatum is in the game. Love when Jason Tatum comes in the game, and I got a different play call. We're calling 98 quick 12 for Mitch Richmond, and we're going to hit Jason Tatum coming off these screens, wide open, puts us up by 9. So we've already run a series, 2 different plays, pick and roll, and he's run the same thing over and over, and we're up by 9. We're able to get stops, and on offense, he's really not able to stop us very consistently at all. Right here, we're running pick and fade with Joakim Noah. Notice how he switches to Chris Bosh. I know that everybody thinks Joakim Noah is an inside center, but I also know that Joakim Noah can shoot the mid range. So I'm always going to pop him to the mid range. I let him roll. I call pick and roll so that he rolls to the basket so that they have to stop the roll. And then I fade him out of his roll. You have to use directional passing. So fade him out of his roll, and now he's open for the mid range that they'll have to contest. That's how I like to use Joakim Noah a lot. This possession, he got Ja Morant. Ja Morant on the court, you know they kind of want to go brain dead, run into the rim, but he can shoot really well, obviously, because his release is super quick this year, and they probably gave him catch and shoot and stuff like that. So you got to watch Ja Morant. I hard hedge on him, but you got to make sure you're getting back out to the pop. Once again, he's getting back into his 5 out, running around handoffs. That should have been a bum steal. We're just trying to do our best to hedge, rotate from the corner. I can play 2-on-1 right here. Show you that again. He sets the screen. I hedge myself. So I'm coming up with Joakim Noah, hedging myself, letting CPU get over the screen. Once CPU gets over the screen, I know Joakim Noah is going to get back, but I'm going to switch to the corner man to pinch over to make sure that the dump doesn't get directly into AD before Joakim Noah gets back. And now I'm back over to Chris Bosh in the corner. It's still a little bit late. He gets a wide open 3. What happened was they switched here, and they shouldn't have switched. Draymond should have still been able to get back to his man, and that should have been able to be a stop. Again, I know that that should have been a stop, so it didn't bother me that much. I know that I'm going to be able to get stops on this guy coming to court as I'm diagnosing the game, how it's going. One more time, we're in Iverson series. This time, Mitch Richmond gets a wide open 3 because he gets caught watching the ball again on the defensive end. We are pressing this guy once again. We want him to rush. He gets at the court with Ja Morant, and this is something I like to do as well. When they are coming up the court, if they have a straight line to the basket, you have to stop their line to the basket. I switched to Tatum real quick just to step over, fake at him, and see if he's going to toss the ball back out. If he throws the ball back out, it's a win for us. We're able to play defense again. If he doesn't throw the ball back out, okay, he gets a 2. That's fine. But we want to make them at least think about what they're doing. So we step over, and he tosses the ball back out just like we want him to. I should have actually stole it, and now he has to actually play some offense. And once again, he hits a fade. He's hitting these fades. I didn't think he was going to actually fade with Ja Morant, but I figured out afterwards that, okay, he's going to start doing that with every player. Anytime he can get a fade, he's going to try to take it. Right here, easy pick and roll. We get a nice mid-range jump shot with Mitch Richmond, but we're still up 10. And we're up 10 because we were actually getting stops, and he's not able to get any stops. We're running series, plays, pick and roll, mixing everything up, and he's running the same thing. So I'm diagnosing what he's doing every single play, and I'm figuring out, okay, next time I'm going to do it this way. Next I'm going to stop this. Next I'm going to stop that. And I'm getting stops here and there. Even if it's 1 or 2 here and there, I'm getting them. And he's not getting any stops really because he's not being able to diagnose what I'm doing because I'm doing something different mostly every time up the court. This play, we got our reserves in. Kyrie on Ja. I don't really like this matchup at all. But I tried to bring some help from Ron Artest on the side just to get him to throw the ball back out. He didn't. And this is one of those situations where I'm up 10. I should have had somebody else on Ja Morant. I wasn't paying too much attention. But usually I would switch Kyrie Irving onto Scottie Pippen. I would have J.R. Smith on Julius Irving. Then I'll have Ron Artest on Ja Morant so that he can't do what he's doing here. He runs straight to the basket, gets an easy layup. We foul him. He ends up hitting 2 free throws. It is what it is. Or he hits one actually. This time up the court, we're going double drag series. I still run double drag, especially when AD and Chris Bosh are in the game. And I like to run double drag when I have somebody that can both shoot pretty decent and get to the rim. Kyrie Irving's layup package makes him really, really tough to stop inside. So once I'm able to get past Ja, they know it's going to be a layup. I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to act like I'm going to go past. They usually just back up. If you're playing against somebody that's playing center defense, just wait for them to back up with their center. Now you got AD or Chris Bosh wide open, and that's going to be an open three, easy three every single time down the court. If they start to play it, then you're able to just get inside with your guard. Now we finally got Ron Artest on Ja Morant. Like I said, we have a better matchup, like we just spoke about. So now Kyrie's on Pippen, J.R. Smith's on Julius Irvin, and Ron Artest is on Ja. And I did that all from just like in game and the button mapping on the D-pad, just doing it that way. I don't like pausing the game to do that. Now we're hard hedging the screen. We got the switch with Ron Artest there. I like Ron Artest on Chris Bosh, and then we end up getting the steal. Kyrie Irving comes over to get a steal. So his offense, we were able to get stops on over and over. Ended up being up 15 in the third quarter. He did end up quitting this game eventually. But yeah, man, there was not much he can do once I started getting stops, and he couldn't get any stops on me. That just made it really easy for me to run away with this game. So mix up your offense. When you're playing against somebody that's doing the same thing over and over, figure out what to do to stop them. Do you have to pinch? Do you have to hedge? If they're just really good and scoring efficiently, you have to fight fire with fire. If you're not a really good pick and roll player, understand your plays, understand the players you have on your team, call different sets, call different series to figure out how you can put the ball in the basket. Because when you start to get stops, that's when the game is going to start running away. You have to be able to score efficiently and mix things up. But once again, especially if you're not just a good pick and roll player, good dribbler running around and stuff like that. I can do both stuff, but I really like playing this way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, man. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.